Did you hear that, crowd? To amuse you is my only wish.
More wine!
I must have power. The only truth in my realm is the law of the strongest. I'm just here for the game.
Everything is forgotten in time. Empires fall, so do emperors.
This is war! Real war!
The odds are against you.
The odds are always against me.
Ready to round!
So I thought I'd wait a month for Gladiator to be out in theaters because not everyone is like me where they see the movie opening night or opening weekend. I waited a month to review it and that gives all of you time to see it. So getting into Gladiator 2, everyone wants to know, is it good? I would say it's not horrible, but it's not amazing either. This was a cash grab. It's very blockbuster. I respect that they built a set and everything was practical in the arena. Most of it, I would say most of it. It feels big and it wants to be big to draw people in. The issue with it is it felt like Ridley Scott is just trying to make a cash grab. I don't feel like he cared about the material very much. I don't feel like he wanted to do anything fresh or new because the movie's not that special. And if you are the type of person that cannot stand nods at the old movie, you will hate Gladiator 2 because there is a ton of them in it. And the story itself is basically a rehash of the first movie. There was someone reading a newspaper in the movie, but then doing research that they did have newspapers at that time, and there were hoses back in that time. Those complaints from other reviews I've watched, that's what I have learned. However, what I'm getting at here is there's a scene where the Colosseum gets filled up with water and they put boats in it to fight each other and there are sharks in the water. Someone needs to show me some evidence of how they transported sharks into a Colosseum during that time without killing them, because they got to take them from the sea and then keep them alive and then put them in the Colosseum. There are scenes like this that are far-fetched. One scene, for example, is there's a battle with some baboons, and as they're fighting some of these gladiators, the baboons do not look like monkeys. They look like monsters. They look like creatures. Not only that, the motion capture on them was terrible. I don't know how this got out of the effects room, but it somehow did, and it just shows me that Ridley Scott doesn't care because he would have had to sign off that he liked how that looked. And you will see what I'm talking about when you finally see Gladiator 2. And then there's a rhino in there where the lead character is waiting for the rhino to charge, and then he jumps out of the way and the rhino hits the cement wall. The action is ridiculous. It is very big and loud. They have a boat battle where they're launching the harpoons out and shooting arrows, and all that stuff was loud and fun, but it's just entertainment. So if you're going to try and take this movie seriously and put in realism in it, you are going to find yourself pulling your hair out. There are a lot of things in there that are purposely done in a crazy way just for entertainment values. Watch this movie with a grain of salt and don't go into it expecting what the first movie provided. Now the big thing is the story, right? So the story is basically a rehash. They keep nodding at the old movie. The two brothers in the movie for me were very cartoonish. I couldn't take anything they were saying seriously. Anytime they were speaking and do something to a character, there was no weight to it for me. They were Looney Tunes characters. I didn't find them threatening, so there was no stakes for me when they were on screen. We'll get to the big part. How did number one Denzel do? Denzel Washington did what Denzel Washington does best, and he acted like himself.
I'm just here for the game.
He didn't even attempt to have an accent. He just talked like regular old Denzel, and I loved it. I don't care. I only saw this movie for Denzel Washington. He did a good job. I liked the way he was written, and I liked his goal. And he didn't come off cartoonish. He was actually pretty evil. And it's nice to see Denzel Washington finally play a villain. He hasn't played a bad guy in a long time. He's not out to help anybody. He's out for his own wealth, his own best interest. He will manipulate people, lie to them, do whatever, use gladiators to fight for him, to feel protected, to gain power. So Gladiator is a fun movie. It's not a mindless movie, kind of like one that I can think of at the top of my head is like Fast and the Furious movies, the Beekeeper, Expendables 4. Those are mindless entertainment. This has a little more fat to it and it's a little better, but it's not a masterpiece by any means. The music, of course, was not memorable. The only time you recognize the music was when they played the Legends, Hans Zimmer's music. The rest was very average and basic, nothing special. Don't go in expecting this to outweigh the first one. You can feel and see in the storytelling it was a cash grab. Ridley Scott just wanted to make a quick buck and make the studios happy and put another movie on his resume, because he's pumping out movies way too quickly. He has had one every year for like the last 7 years. It feels like he's trying to rush and put out as many movies as he can before he retires. I'm going to grade Gladiator 2 a C+. If you haven't seen it yet, it'll probably be on streaming very soon. I have more reviews coming up, and the next one I'm going to be doing is my movie loot box winner review will be up next. I will be posting Saltburn very soon. That one was a very interesting movie, and I wasn't able to help myself with that review, so definitely don't miss it. Hit that notification bell to keep me notified when that video drops, and I will catch you movie fans on my next review.